On this week's China News headlines, there's another virus outbreak in China. A devastating earthquake strikes Tibet, plus a Chinese ship may have cut an undersea cable near Taiwan. Welcome to China Uncensored. I'm Chris Chappell. This episode is sponsored by Aura. Have you ever been compromised in a data breach? Oh yes, you have. Whether you've been told about it or not, every data breach exposes your private information to hackers. But the companies that get hacked often try to hide it from you. And that's where Aura comes in. Aura will help protect you from identity theft and financial fraud. I'll tell you more at the end. So, stop me if you've heard this one. China is seeing a rise in cases of a little-known virus. I'm sorry, I just got the most intense case of deja vu for some reason. Human metapneumovirus, or HMPV, is surging throughout the country, and perhaps even more broadly, with rising cases in India as well as the United Kingdom. The virus is similar to other respiratory viruses, with symptoms like cough, fever, nasal congestion, and shortness of breath. It can impact people of all ages, although the elderly, young children, and people with already weakened immune systems are the most at risk of complications like pneumonia or bronchitis. Oh, there's that deja vu again. For some reason, I get the feeling someone's about to blame this on a pangolin. What'd they do to anyone other than look like an aardvark in a mech suit? The virus is making headlines all over the world, mainly because of pictures of overwhelmed hospitals in China showing up on news sites and social media. But before you head out the door to buy up all of your local store supply of toilet paper, there's something you should know. HMPV is not a novel virus like COVID-19 was. It's neither a new mystery illness nor responsible for as many cases as COVID or other infections even this season. It's related to RSV, and like RSV, most cases are relatively mild. It was formally discovered in 2001, but evidence suggests it's been around a lot longer than that. What this means is that according to the experts, there's already broad immunity to the virus. So, no, most likely, it's not going to end up like last time. Well, I certainly feel better, because if COVID taught me anything, it's that you can trust everything the experts have to say about everything. Also, the CCP has not confirmed that HMPV is what's causing the hospitalizations, with some experts hypothesizing that influenza A might be the culprit. The thing is, it's respiratory illness season. There's going to be surges. So health experts are urging calm and recommending basic sanitary practices that people should be doing anyways. And don't worry, because even if a new respiratory virus were to suddenly appear in China, I'm sure you can trust the Chinese Communist Party to not censor any information about it at all. Speaking of censorship, just a reminder to all our viewers that a couple days ago, we launched Operation Honeypot. The goal is to fight YouTube censorship. If you haven't heard of Operation Honeypot, that's probably because YouTube censored the video we did about YouTube's censorship. Check out the description below for a link to the video where we show some shocking evidence of YouTube's pro-CCP bias. I want to thank every viewer who has joined Operation Honeypot so far. Thank you for being an active member of my 50-cent army. As of this recording, we have well over 10,000 Honeypot comments across multiple China Uncensored videos. So, let's keep the momentum going. Join this operation by liking this video and leaving a comment below that includes the honeypot emoji. I pasted that emoji below so you can copy it easily. If you can't copy it, then just write honeypot as part of your comment. Together, we will either stop YouTube's censorship of China Uncensored or expose it once and for all. China is helping the Iran-backed Houthis in Yemen obtain weapons in exchange for unmolested Red Sea passage. According to Israel's I-24 News, U.S. intelligence services have identified a complex supply chain set up by the Houthis in China since the beginning of the attacks in the Red Sea, which allows them to acquire advanced components and guidance equipment for their ballistic and cruise missiles. Ballistic and cruise missiles, which oddly enough aren't hitting Chinese-flagged ships in the Red Sea. Except that one time, but that was probably a mistake. I-24 News' anonymous American intelligence sources also say that the Houthis are planning to manufacture large numbers of cruise missiles capable of hitting Persian Gulf states using the same Chinese components, which also isn't terribly surprising. The Houthis control a large portion of Yemen and have been attacking ships in the Red Sea, including the U.S. and Israel. They claim they're defending the Palestinians. Ah yes, just like Hamas is defending Palestinians. I bet there's extra room for the Houthis to hide in schools and hospitals to help defend the human shields, Palestinians. The U.S. has reportedly passed its intelligence on to China, including lists of the companies involved, but so far the CCP, which has close relations with Iran, hasn't done anything about it. This story is just so full of surprises. An anonymous diplomat source said that Houthi officials have visited China several times last summer and fall, probably for meetings with high-ranking officials of the regime, which would explain why the CCP hasn't done anything about the Houthi arms network through China. The anonymous source also said the U.S. and Israel are both threatening to cut off this Chinese trade network from the world financial system without any specifications. And given past history, I assume without any specifications means we'll talk to them and hope really, really hard they listen. Otherwise, we'll just have to give them a 90-second chance to straighten up. And after the break, why would Taiwan want to make itself weaker in the face of a Chinese invasion? Welcome back. Taiwan is investigating a Chinese vessel over damage to an undersea internet cable. More deja vu. Because something similar happened with a Chinese ship in the Baltic Sea just a couple of weeks ago. We're barely a week into the new year, and already it feels like the news is airing reruns. If China's going to be despicable, could they at least be original about it? The ship Taiwan is investigating is the Cameroon-flagged but Hong Kong-based Shunxing 39. But get this, it's gone through 2 different names and 6 different ID numbers over just the past 6 months, which isn't shady at all. You can see on this map how the ship seemingly sailed in circles around the cable, possibly dragging its anchor over it while doing so. The Taiwanese Coast Guard briefly detained the ship and tried to get it to return to Taiwanese waters, but due to stormy weather, they were unable to board. And it sailed on to South Korea, while simultaneously turning off its authentic identification system, which transmits a ship's name, class, and location, which also isn't shady at all. The cable, which is co-owned by several international companies, provides internet connectivity to Taiwan and runs all the way to the U.S. from various East Asian countries. Taiwan's Chunghwa Telecom said services in Taiwan were mostly uninterrupted and that it had been able to quickly reroute data to other cables. Of course, the Chinese Communist Party has not commented on the incident. They're dragging their feet on this, but at least they're no longer dragging their anchor. But more bad news for Taiwan. In the last year, Chinese hackers have doubled their cyber attacks on Taiwan. In 2023, Taiwanese government networks experienced a daily average of 1.2 million, yes, I said million, cyber attacks a day. But according to a new report by Taiwan's National Security Bureau, in 2024, that number doubled to a daily average of 2.4 million cyber attacks, most of which were attributed to Chinese state-backed hackers. Luckily, the island has managed to stave off many of these cyber attacks. And the report also pointed to the success of Taiwan's Joint Security Defense Mechanism in sharing threat information in real time between intelligence sources and government agencies. So for now, Taiwan's internet is secure from China and just has to worry about the horrors of the rest of the internet. With China presenting such a clear and present danger to Taiwan, it kind of begs the question, why would they want to cut their defense budget? Recently passed amendments could reduce the defense budget by 28%. What? That makes no sense. Taiwan already doesn't spend enough on its defense budget. What's that, Shelley? Oh, the legislation is being pushed by the main opposition, Nationalist Party. You know, the ones that are basically pro-CCP and want to do more business with China. You can vote your way into socialism, but you gotta fight your way out. Over 126 people are dead after a 7.1 magnitude earthquake in Tibet. The tremor was so strong that it was also felt in neighboring Nepal. This earthquake struck one of Tibet's holiest areas. Many buildings have been damaged, some have been trapped in the rubble, and rescue operations are ongoing. About 6,900 people live within 12 miles of the earthquake's epicenter, and many residents blame the poor quality of construction for the vast amounts of damage. Poor quality construction, gosh, there goes that deja vu again. Now, China has claimed for years that its forced displacement of hundreds of thousands of Tibetans has been part of a voluntary migration to employ them and improve the quality of their lives and infrastructure. How's that infrastructure doing? And did you know that Chinese hackers recently stole surveillance data from multiple telecom companies and stole customer call records, maybe including yours? In fact, last year there was a 75% spike in the number of data theft victims. Hackers from China and elsewhere are constantly trying to steal your private information. But a lot of times, the companies or agencies that get hacked try to hide it from you. Don't let them. That's why we're working with our sponsor, Aura. Aura offers serious identity theft protection. When you sign up, they'll monitor your personal data across billions of data points, including on the dark web, and they'll alert you within minutes if you show up in a data breach. Every adult on the account gets $1 million in identity theft protection, and you can include up to 5 people on your account. Aura also protects you from financial fraud. If someone tries to open a credit card or get a loan using your name, you'll get an alert so you can stop it. Aura also has great customer service. If your data is stolen, you can call up and speak directly to a human or chat with someone online in real time. So keep yourself safe with Aura today. Get a 14-day free trial at aura.com/China Uncensored. The link is in the description below. I'm Chris Chappell. Thanks for watching China Uncensored.